Say, right, so first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yehovah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. We say double and say apostle and elders, a great Muslim, a rule, our teachers, our apostles in truth, and we say salutation, so they are constantly pushing with the truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or the season, we say shalom. And once again, going into a video here and touching upon this in real time, right? You see how there's no peace with Esau, right? When they speak peace, it's really war. You know, it's really war that they want. Now, matter of fact, let me bring the scripture here before I bring out some of these articles, right? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 55, and I'll go read, you know what? Psalm 55, and I read from verse 20. It says, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? And if you watch, you know, I believe it was yesterday, you know, Iran and America come to a peace treaty for like 2 weeks, right? And within a span of matter of fact, while the peace treaty was going on, while it was still they was so-called making their agreement on certain things, which right now from what they're hearing is that they didn't even make an agreement, right? But while they was doing it through the the media was reporting it and so forth, you know, those other guys, right? Israel was attacking Iran at the same time, right? So as the scripture say, he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. And this is the thing, you know, when you watch Esau track record, you really and truly can't trust them, right? You can't trust them, because when they come, what you think that they do, they come, you know, they speak, you know, they speak like if they really and truly they come in, they come to help, they come for peace, you know, they ain't coming to harm, you know, how they speak in the Hollywood movies, right? You know, when they show you aliens come, we come in peace. Right, that's but really and truly is they coming to kill, to destroy, right? And that is the thing. That one of Esau's purpose. I'm gonna just jump to our scripture here. Let me go to the book of Revelation, chapter 6, and I'm gonna read verse 4. You see, and they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So how could, you know, they were given power to take peace from the earth, right? Not to take peace, not to give peace, but to take peace. So there's no peace to come from them, right? They say, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword, right? Now let's read some of these articles here. Let me go down now. So all these things was coming out while, you know, the treaty was being made. So this article say, what peace? U.S. Ambassador to UN Mike Waltz booed as he mentions Trump peacemaking, right? I'm going to play this.
Worry, war, chaos, violence, and more unsafe world comes to mind. But if we're being honest, that's also the world that we're living in now. With the UN. So, my friends across the street worry that with President Trump's peacemaking,
and just like that, what peace, you know, because they know there's no peace. There's no peace. That way it said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Yeah, that's the way it is. It sounds good. You know, it sounds good. It seems good, right? Smooth. That way it say it's smoother than butter. Good sweet talkers, right? Good sweet talkers they are. But it said, but war was in his heart, and that is where it is. That is really and truly why in his spirit. War. They don't want no peace. Right? As Revelation 6 say what they say, it's to take that peace from the earth, not to give it. So all this peace talk, watch how much times, you know, and again you've seen it played out right before your eyes that really and truly they're not about peace. They're about war, they're about bloodshed. Right? That the scriptures mentioned that violent man, right? Bloodthirsty.
Yeah, please. It's been such an organization. I mean, this is praise be to Allah. Hear me first. The words of our president. Tomorrow, I'm anticipating war, chaos.
I'm gonna go up here a little bit. It says, not this one. It says U.S. President Trump confirms Lebanon is not included. So this was just an hour ago. U.S. President Trump confirms Lebanon is not included in the ceasefire agreement with Iran. So what did they do? They went on to attack Lebanon, right? Massive Israeli airstrike flattened a building in Beirut, Lebanon. So it goes to show they are not about peace. That is what it say. But war was in his heart, right? War was in his heart. They not about peace, right? Esau on the move and they're not playing, right? Let's go up. Matter of fact, let me jump to another scripture here. Psalms 5. Let's do book of Psalms chapter 5, and I go read verse 9. We say, for there is no faithfulness in their mouth. The inward part is very wickedness, right? And that is where it is. That is what the scripture say, for there is no faithfulness in the mouth. So if there is no faithfulness in the mouth, why would they trust his words? The scripture tells us not to trust our enemy, and we know we're not going to trust Esau in anything. Because when they say one thing, they mean the other, they mean the opposite of that. So if they say peace is really war, right? If they say life is really death, you know, it have a saying, Jake love to say on this side here, they love to say if somebody unreliable, right, or there's liars or so forth, it have a statement they love to say, right? If that person tell you walk is to run, right? If that person tell you it's to drive, it's to fly, you know? Because the person untrustworthy, and that is where it is when it comes to Esau. When Esau tell you one thing, just know it's the opposite. So they say peace, but watch what they're doing, right? So that is scripture say, for there is what? For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. The inward part is very wickedness, and that is what we're dealing with. That's our wicked nation, right? Watch how they destroy our school. You know, they end up killing so much of children in the school, right? I know it has certain things. I don't watch how I speak it, saying certain things, but due to the fact that, you know, they with YouTube and the banning and all these rest of stuff, right? And they just don't care, right? The scriptures mention they're like on to what? To hell and death. That is the man you're dealing with. You know, simple things like that. Like, for example, these nations, they have something, I think it's the Geneva law, right? They have something else called the ICC, which is the ICC, right? They have the laws when it comes to like war and so forth. And right now, Esau is actually breaking all, every single one from war crimes. They are committing what you would consider war crimes, right? So what peace is really going to happen? They're talking about. Let's go up again. It says Iran warns that it will withdraw from the ceasefire agreement if Israel continues to attack on Lebanon. Just minutes ago, the White House told Axios that the ceasefire agreement does not include Lebanon, right? So what they're doing? They're attacking. They don't care. They understand that. Hey, they just that might say it's words or what was smoother than butter. It sounds good. It's smooth. You know, when they hear it chain you up. Right? But the next part of that scripture, they say war was in his heart, and that is where it is, man. And I scripture say, therefore there is no faithfulness in their mouth. The inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre, they flatten with their tongue. Right? You're not supposed to trust these guys. And it's seen that. It's seen it play out right before your eyes. Right now, I didn't save some of it. But people are since some of these attacks happening, people are actually coming to the realization that, hey, really and truly, America don't want any peace, right? They don't want peace, and that's where it is. It wasn't Trump called the president of peace, and watch some of the things he's doing right now. right? Just as he said here, he said what? He said U.S. President Trump confirms Lebanon is not included in the ceasefire agreement with Iran, right? Once we go to, we'll go to another scripture here, right? Right, I'm gonna go to the book of Psalm chapter 10, right? Psalm chapter 10 verse 7, it says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit, and fraud under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that is where it is. It says what? His mouth is full of cursing and deceit. Man, hey, again, once Esau tell us something, is the opposite. There's no is the opposite of that. All our peace talks and he president of peace and watchy stuff that they are doing. Let's read some of these. Iran fires 17 ballistic missiles and 35 drones on UAE. Right, so you see in some of these news. Missiles, right? You see in this, so it's still another video shows the aftermath of Israel's largest strike on Lebanon. You see, so does that look like peace to you? Does that look like they want to stop any war? No, they say war was in his heart. Yeah, right. War was in his heart, right? And no peace to come from these guys. Soon. Hey, another thing by itself. Let's say Iran tells mediators U.S. talks dependent on Lebanon ceasefire, warning they will continue to carry out strikes on regional countries, including Israel, if attacks on Lebanon and Iran by Israel. And that is the thing. You know, hey, Esau really and truly didn't want no peace. You know? The scriptures say he was given the power to take peace, not to give. Right? You know, every day you're seeing things playing out. Every day you're seeing stuff happening. Right? Taking place. Showing that this man is not somebody you're supposed to trust. You know, guys, why the scriptures call them the wicked? That is what you saw is the wicked. You can't expect good stuff to come from the wicked. They can only get what? Wickedness. Or you see the wicked will do wickedly. Right? So with that, once again, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashemi, Oshai, Ba'ashemi Kakadash. We say that once our person elders are great Mr. Ruel, our teachers, our person issued, and with this salutation, so they are considered push with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or season, say Shalom.